Who collects vinyl in an age like this when you can stream just about anything?
True. Morgan's got refined taste.
You really think so? Now, even I thought they were cool back when the vinyl revival first started. But now, every suburban mall has its own vinyl shop right next to the novelty store. At this point, it's become a solid component of modern snobism, which only makes them that much more uncool. People who know nothing about real music are buying them up just so they can decorate their walls with cute album art.
How do you ever have time to enjoy anything when you're always so busy putting people down?
Excuse me?
You're like IBS. You keep flaring up at the worst times and there's no end in sight. And when you're alone with Morgan, it's just an all-out war zone.
We're in the middle of a very important investigation right now. Don't you think we ought to take it seriously?
To me, it just looks like you're putting yourself under a lot of stress for no good reason. Why can't you, show a little humanity once in a while?
Does one need humanity in order to track down criminals?
Yes, one does. Or at least I do.
Well, I don't.
Come on, Aaliyah. I'm your partner, aren't I?
Not really. Didn't we just get assigned like last week?
For a few days, at the very least. I'm your invasive partner who has a passionate relationship with pizza, right? Why can't you just let me in on one thing you actually happen to enjoy?
Nietzsche.
No, aside from Nietzsche, that is.
Call shot.
I'd really rather not.
Why do you always have to be so withdrawn?
I can't help it if there's certain things I don't like.
No, come on. There's got to be some kind of music you enjoy. This is a good chance to teach me a bit about yourself.
I said no.
Do you like Justin Bieber?
Too cute. Not my type.
Really? Your problem with Justin Bieber is that he's too cute?
Drake?
I've only ever listened to the hooks.
I like the meme, but that doesn't really count.
Well then, Ariana Grande, Katy Perry.
Hell no. Am I done now?
Well then, what do you like?
I have to tell you.
Yes, you do.
Pink Floyd.
Classy?
No way. You're a prog rocker? Who turned you onto it? Your dad?
As far as I can remember, I've loved prog rock ever since I was born. That's just how music works, right? I mean, The Wall is by far my favorite album. Even to this day, I find it hard to believe that they made that in the 70s. It still sounds completely fresh and unique, as if it was just released yesterday. And what?
No, I was just thinking, I wish Morgan could have been here for this.
Don't you dare tell him.
Didn't we already look
All
at the pizza
pizzas
boxes?
are created equal. He's got some nerve. He's making fun of me. I know he is.
Hey, Aaliyah, sorry about before. I went a little overboard.
What are you talking about?
Okay. Chicagoans all love deep dish pizza. We can't live without the damn stuff. I admit it. That's why I always get so emotional.
Really? That's the reason?
whenever
It's
we
because
talk
you're
about
from
pizza.
Chicago that you get emotional talking about pizza?
I'm sorry.
Again, that actually does check out.
That's okay. It had already left my mind.
I don't even know why it let me look at the boxes
Well, good.
again.
Pizza should always be a peaceful dish, no matter what's going on. By the way, do you eat hot dogs?
Oh no, don't get us started on
Why
this.
do you want to know?
Don't.
Just tell me, do you
Don't.
eat them?
Simon, don't. Don't bring up the conversation only to get all elitist about, oh, it's not a Chicago dog, it's not a real dog.
Every now and then, yes.
Okay,
Don't
so
do it.
What do
Don't,
you put on your
Aaliyah,
hot-
if you say ketchup, you are justified and that is okay.
What is this?
It is
A
okay,
personality
Aaliyah.
test?
I know exactly where this is going.
No, nothing of the
This
sort.
is I know.
You see, the thing is, we Chicagoans are very tolerant when it comes to pizza preferences. But hot dogs? Well, that's a different story.
If you put ketchup on a hot dog, it is not a Chicago dog. I will give you that. but you are allowed to put ketchup on your hot dog. That is okay. If it tastes good in your mouth when you eat it, because the ingredients go well together, it is okay to do it. It's okay to eat it, and it's still a hot dog.
Meaning?
I just can't stand those people who put ketchup on their hot dogs.
Why don't you just walk out on the street and be like, hey, who doesn't put ketchup? You can't start the conversation to get elitist about it. That's the most a-hole thing you can do.
Mustard is the only condiment that people should be allowed to put on their hot dogs.
Chicago in. What, you don't put pickles and relish and onions on your... What is this?
Anything else is
anything else. You don't put anything else on your hot dogs. You're not from Chicago then.
And yet,
you can't even...
Who
are you?
Do you know how many people are out there dripping ketchup all over their Franks? I mean, let's think about this. What is ketchup? Exactly.
One time I went to a Cubs game.
Ketchup
and
French right?
One of my friends put ketchup on their
It was never meant to be an accessory for
and they got all that crap for it. And I was like, you know what? Out of solidarity, I don't even like ketchup on my personal hot dog. But out of solidarity, I'm putting one little drop of ketchup onto my hot dog.
It's out of the question. You got a hot dog, you use mustard. It's an unspoken rule. So, Aaliyah, lay it on me. Are you one of those degenerates who puts ketchup
Me, myself,
on hot
I
dogs?
prefer hot dog relish, that's it. I don't put much else on it. I don't really like mustard.
I do. I put ketchup on my hot dogs.
Yeah, own it.
Of course I do.
No. Well, this partnership isn't going to last long.
Good.
You've definitely
I hope
convinced me
Aaliyah
of that.
doesn't actually, but she's just saying that because she wants Simon to hate her.
Oh, yeah? Well, good.
Yeah.
From the moment we started this investigation, I always assumed
Yeah,
it would
good.
be a one-time only thing.
God, honestly, the thing that really ticks me off, the kind of people who start a conversation with the intent to pick a fight. Like, I can't, it's like walking up to someone and being like, so what'd you think about The Last Jedi? And there's no right answer, because either you're going to say that and the person's going to be like, oh, good, I agree. Here are all the reasons I agree and why everyone who disagrees is wrong. Or you're going to say something that disagrees with that person, and they're going to be like, well, you're wrong, and here's all the reasons why, and here's why I'm right. Because no person ever wants to... Okay. We're gonna start in the next one.
Films from every genre you could possibly think of, but only movies from the 80s. I've never met such an exclusive film collector.
But I have a hot take. No one on Earth wants to know what another person's... At this point in time, in 2020, no one on Earth wants to know someone else's opinion about The Last Jedi. So if someone brings up The Last Jedi in conversation in like a let's talk about what we thought of the movie way, it is not to get other people's opinion. It's because they want to talk about their opinion about The Last Jedi. And if you do that, you're an a-hole. I'm not saying we can never talk about The Last Jedi, but I'm saying if you start the conversation, what did you think about The Last Jedi, with the intent of talking about what you thought of The Last Jedi, you're an a-hole. And the same goes for, is ketchup allowed on hot dogs? And the same goes for, like, any of those. If you just start that conversation knowing that there's a good chance it will lead to a fight, and you are willing to have the fight because your opinions are better than everyone else's, then you're an a-hole. And I stand by that. Let's talk about the DVDs. I think my controller, like, ran out. Yeah, my controllers aren't working. Let's look at the chess for a second here.
My fairy isn't his chess partner. That being fulfills a different role within him.
Wait, how did that... Okay, that pawn on the, like, in the center of the board, but to the left, how did it get there? Because it hasn't taken any other pawns. I guess it might have taken a bishop, because it seems like one of the black bishops is missing. Whatever.
So who's he playing against then? Who would be a good match for him?
Yeah, I'm going to have to reset my controller because it's not working. Whoops. It's still not letting me go left. It's not letting me go. Okay, I'm gonna turn off both controllers here for a second. Okay, that button still works. Okay, the left button works now. But not here. I guess I don't get to look at anything else. Let's inspect the chess.
Agent Jones, that chessboard is still bugging me. I don't know why, but it just does. You really think he was playing chess all by himself?
I don't know. I definitely think it's possible.
How?
Maybe he's remembering the strategies an old friend of his used to use. If it's someone he played for years, he's probably capable of recreating their playing style. And besides, Morgan's beaten a grandmaster before. You know that, right?
I read about that in the Greenvale report.
Oh, did he beat Usha? Is that what it is?
Play chess these days, right? I'm sure that a grandmaster.
That's the only reason it would be relevant to
no trouble
Greenvale.
Someone else's strategy.
Whose chess strategy is he emulating then?
Oh, I had to be pressing up, not left. Whatever.
Oh, Aaliyah. Getting curious now, huh? Here, I'll find one of my favorites for you.
Okay.
How about this one? Who Framed Roger Rabbit, directed by Robert Zemeckis. It's a fantasy movie that mixes real actors with cartoons, using what we'd call CG these days.
I actually think it was blatantly not CG. CG stands for computer-generated imagery, and I believe Roger Rabbit was hand-drawn.
Yeah, I know that one. It's the one where Michael Jordan plays basketball with all the cartoon characters, right?
Of course Aaliyah would make that mistake. That's great.
What? No, that's Space Jam.
That's fun.
It's not even the same director. And besides, that one has the Looney Tunes in it.
The Looney Tunes show up for a small amount of Roger Rabbit. Shut up.
Whatever. Either way, I'm not watching it.
Fine by me. You know, you're really lacking in the cute department.
I don't like that
Is that supposed to be an insult?
No, not at all. I'm just trying to help you turn a new leaf. I'm your invasive partner, remember?
Why do you care so much? I like myself just the way I am.
No, wrong answer. I think you could use a little more softness. You know what I mean? That would definitely make it easier for people to help you out.
God, just punch him, Aaliyah.
You're flawless, intelligent, and charming. All you're missing is some soft spots.
Soft spots?
Yeah, you know, like when people find out a super serious politician is actually a huge comic book nerd. Something like that.
He does have a point that can be very endearing, just finding out one dorky detail about a politician. I'll give him that.
You've got to have something. Something you secretly like that people wouldn't
was
expect.
it Dan Patrick was a huge Batman fan and showed up in like a bunch of Batman movies?
Well, I don't.
That's pretty great.
End of story.
Hey, uh-oh. The lady doth protest too much, methinks.
What do you mean? I just said I don't.
Which means you definitely do. Well, what is it? Come on, I gotta know.
Okay, now I can't go down.
A soft spot? Ugh. He doesn't even understand the first thing about me. A soft spot? He doesn't even... Professor R, the mother of this evil powder, is dead and gone. So then why are her demon seeds still being passed down? This drug has already taken so many lives and more are bound to follow. It has to be stopped.
Ready to spill the beans, Aaliyah?
I'm afraid of thunder. Happy now?
Katrina? All right, I'll stop.
Yeah, you don't get to bring that up.
Good. Now let's get back to the investigation.
No. Hold on. Now that I think about it, that doesn't really qualify as a soft
It's
spot.
interesting that the soft spot conversation was brought up before, like we had the option to look at the lightning before.
What I'm looking for is more... How should I say?
I wonder if this conversation changes depending on the
Adorable?
order you choose all the things. That's cool.
You know, something that would make you blush. There's gotta be something. Please, I'm begging you.
I love koalas.
Aw.
They're just so cute. I can't resist them. All I need to do is look at a picture of one and fuzzy wuzzies swim all over me. I mean, the way they look, the way they're shaped, the color of their fur. I mean, even down to how they only eat eucalyptus. I just love everything about them. Once I get some time off, I'm gonna travel to Australia and hug one for real. That's one of the top 5 goals on my lifetime to-do list right now. This conversation never happened. Is that understood?
That's really fun. That's cute.
So, why did you decide to take this case?
Because it's my job.
Really? I don't buy it.
Why not?
You aren't just following orders here. You've got way too much emotion invested in this. Some kind of special emotion. There's no use trying to hide it. Despite how I may look, data analysis is my forte. I know how to see through lies. I don't mean to be nosy, but would it kill you to confide in me a little?
I just told you about the koalas,
I didn't manage
dude.
to live this long simply because I'm fiendishly handsome. And besides, we're going to be tiptoeing across a thin line of legality with the rest of this case, so I'd prefer to have some probable cause. That way, at least I can back you up when you need me to.
There exists in the world a single path along which no one can go except you. Whither does it lead? Do not ask, go along it.
You're pulling out Nietzsche at a time like this? Come on.
I have a little brother. After overdosing on a certain drug, he was thrown into rehab. He's been clean for 2 years now, but he still won't utter a single word. All day long, he's plagued by hallucinations. He can't tell if he's dead or alive, if this is reality or if it's all a dream.
Sang Rouge.
That's right. The doctor can't tell what's causing his condition, so they can't treat him. He just told me to prepare for the possibility that I may never get my brother back. This was his. I bought it for him after he graduated high school and found a job. He never got a single chance to wear it, though. Someday, I believe that he'll get better. And I'll get to see him put this on and head out to work.
So you think that if we nab the person behind all this, we may figure out how to conquer the addiction?
Right.
You really think it'll be that easy?
I don't know. But I can't just sit around and do nothing. He's the only family I have in the entire world.
What about your parents?
Okay.
When I was only 13,
Yeah. Read
Katrina
between the
took
lines
him.
here, Simon.
leaving my 7-year-old brother and I behind.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. I've already dealt with my past. Now I'm just working as hard as I can to complete the duty I've been given.
Yeah.
Hey, Agent Jones. I just want to double check one thing. You didn't find anything in the bathroom.
Nope. Nothing in there.
It must be the bedroom then. Just like I thought.
Are you serious about this?
Huh? Now you're having second thoughts?
Well, not exactly.
Then what?
I understand how you feel. But he's got an incurable disease. And he used to be one of us.
So? The truth he's given us so far could all be completely fabricated. He's a genius lone wolf agent who solved nothing but difficult cases during his years of active duty. That's what they told me at Quantico, at least. Over and over again, I had to listen to them talk about how no one could ever replicate the kind of work he did. But let's be real here. You saw his face, didn't you? It was inhuman. It looked like the face of a killer who's been possessed by death. Patricia Clarkson is here, in the next room, only a single wall away from us. After 14 years, he went back to Le Carré, kidnapped her, and imprisoned her here.
I'm going to put a doubt on that. She might be behind the door, but she's not in prison.
He's trying to complete something big
very
right
much
now.
doubt that.
Something that's deeply connected to Saint Rouge.
Because he still has to be fulfilling the promise of protecting her from the evils of this world. Like, that has to be what that is.
What is all this?
Oh, we still have more investigating to do we? Let me turn the light on and just effing starve to death. I really want to get dinner, but I also really want to get through a whole Zach section. But it is 8:25. Oh, it's just one thing, it looks like.
Pictures of people
I
from
see
Le
Greenvale
Carré.
stuff on the right there.
And this wall is dedicated to Greenvale.
I can't tell who everyone is just because the photos are so small. He's got the general up there, it looks like, on the left. Obviously, Anna there. I can see Becky, Nick. Is that Usha right under Nick? Harry, obviously. I can't, now the text is in the way, but I can't tell who is under there. And then Thomas X'd out. Mostly I'm curious, I do not see Emily up there.
All the deceased have been crossed out.
Also, I think that's the Wesley the gunsmith on the left there.
Sheriff Melvin Woods.
Oh! Spoilers! I saw Candy dead there too. Okay, yeah, okay. That's the way Swery chose to tell the story.
Lise Clarkson? Where's Patricia?
Are you asking the thing? That was pretty good. That was just spooky.
That's our altar. What are you doing?
Oh, that's it? I do love that the tree is getting more and more colorful as the game goes on. I think it's a really cool detail. I don't want Zach to be evil, man. But he's being a creep. Also, man, I'm an idiot. I just realized something. In the same way that George Woodman was the Raincoat Killer, 2005, Car, Louisiana. Perhaps Candy Clarkson, who then chose to go by the name Candy Woods, might be connected to the Red Seeds and Red Tree in some way. Buddy?
York! Agent York! York! Agent Agent York! Agent York? Hey! Hey, Agent York.
You're Lise Clarkson.
What's wrong? You're acting weird.
Even more so than usual.
Sorry, Hattie, I'm fine now. More importantly, do these red seeds come from some kind of plant that grows around this area?
I wonder where we could
I
find
don't
a giant
know.
red tree.
What do I look like, a botanist?
This isn't your average backwoods town. The Clarksons' ego and control has been piercing the town's heart like a massive dinosaur bone. But over this past century, time has been busy
is that your
eroding the
metaphor?
beast's power from within. And now, the very thing that once fortified this town is polluting it with putrid gas and rotten marrow. Zach, this is the point where it all collapses.
Cool. I would assume we got an autosave there, but let's see if we can confirm. I don't think we can confirm, but I'm going to trust that the last autosave was this. So, yeah, we're going to call it there. I have to get some food. I am enjoying this game. I wish some of the things with... sorry, this is probably from, like, commentary from, like, 6 episodes ago, but same night I'm playing it. Lena could have been handled better, even with the patch. I don't know what was changed, but I think that could have been written better, but I think it is very clear that Swery, who is writing this game, is supportive of the trans community. I wish he had written the character better, but I think it is... when you look at it as a whole and all the things York was saying to Patty, I think it's unequivocally true that Swery does care, and I don't think meant any harm by it. Now, not meaning to do any harm does not mean no harm was done. I'm not trying to say that, everything's fine, but I hope people on Twitter, it seems like he's getting a lot of the criticism he's hearing from Twitter. I hope those people are directing their criticism at the game itself and at the character, and not saying, wow, Swery is so transphobic, because I think it's very clear he was trying to send a trans-positive message while also having a villainous trans character with a lot of other mental trauma happening. And I think having those two things combined led to a lot of problematic things being part of that part of the game, but I think it is unfair to attack Swery directly and say he is being hateful by the way he has written the game. I think I agree the portrayal as a whole was problematic. Same way as Thomas. I talked a lot about Thomas and how there are still elements of Thomas's character that are kind of affirming, even though as a whole Thomas is handled poorly. I think I would say Thomas is like 70-30, like problematic versus cool in terms of like how to portray a queer character. I would almost flip that with Lena. I think that very last conversation tips it more to 60-40, but I still think majority she was a very well-written character. Like for the most part, very identity affirming. All the dialogue surrounding her. And then I think it stumbles right at the end, and that I wish that were different and handled differently. But yeah, I understand why there is criticism. I think that criticism is valid. I also think Swery put in good effort. Did not nail it by any means, but I still want to commend him, and again, especially commend him for trying to fix it. I don't think he fixed it completely. As I did get the patch. That was the version we played, and there was still a lot happening there that I was uncomfortable with. But yeah, I still stand by this game. As a whole, I'm still enjoying it, and I am excited to keep playing. But I'm incredibly hungry, so I am going to get some dinner. So good night, everybody.